Today on Reacher Reviewed, we are going to take a look over Without Fail, which is the sixth book in the highly acclaimed Jack Reacher series written by Lee Child. And it features a compelling cat and mouse story as our hero works with the Secret Service to protect the Vice President, who has been targeted by an unknown assailant. If Reacher is unable to find the flaws in the Secret Service's protection, then the Vice President will pay with his life, along with anyone else that stands in the way of his assassination. As I have done before with my book reviews of the Jack Reacher series, I will be analysing the novel in detail, summarising the plot, and providing my own thoughts, insights and opinions. In addition to this, I will also be discussing the potential of this book being adapted into the Reacher television series on Amazon Prime Video. As of writing and recording this episode, season 3 of the show is about to conclude, and there's already discussions about a forthcoming, already confirmed season 4. As a result of this, fans of both the series and the books are eagerly anticipating which novel will be selected for the next adaptation. So I'll be giving my thoughts on whether this particular story could be adapted for the screen. So, without further delay, let's grab another cup of Reacher's favourite tipple, black coffee. Let's sit back in our favourite chair for reading in, and let's take a look. Previously, I have reviewed the first 3 Jack Reacher novels here on my channel: Killing Floor, Die Trying and Tripwire. I am jumping forwards a little bit here by covering the 6th book, but the main reason for that is simply because I do not own the 4th and 5th books yet. Oh, sure, I could simply just hop onto Amazon Shopping and buy them there and then, but I do get a lot of enjoyment from perusing the shelves of second-hand bookshops and charity shops. I am in no hurry to collect these books in a particular order, or to read them in a particular order. And in fact, you don't really need to read them in a particular order anyway. So I will just simply grab these books whenever I see them and review them whenever I've finished reading them. In fact, there are a couple of friends of mine who have also started collecting the Jack Reacher novels, and we've started comparing notes on what we have and what we don't have in our collections, so we've been looking out for each other. Special thanks has to go to my friend Zoe who recently got me a Jack Reacher book that I haven't got. Since I reviewed the first 3 books on my channel, I have acquired several more of the Jack Reacher novels, including a number of the later books that Lee Child has co-written with his brother Andrew, so I'm certainly not short of reading material. As time goes on though, I will attempt to put these episodes of Reacher Reviewed into some sort of cohesive order, either by release order of the books or perhaps by chronological order, as some of these books are actually prequel stories that take place before the events of Killing Floor, the first Jack Reacher book in the series. Anyway, I think that's quite enough preamble. Let's get on to the plot of this book, shall we? Without Fail, 2002. When the newly elected Vice President's life is threatened, the Secret Service turns to nomadic, soldier of fortune Jack Reacher for his help. The head of the Vice President's protection team, Emmy Froelich, who is tight-lipped about what her initials stand for, was once a colleague of Reacher's late brother, Joe, who had impressed her with his many tales of Jack's daring do as a major in the US Army's military police. Froelich plans to hire Reacher to assess their security, perform an external audit, and identify potential weaknesses in the protection of North Dakota Senator and soon-to-be Vice President-elect Brooke Armstrong. This decision comes after the Secret Service start to receive a number of anonymous letters threatening the Vice President's life. To make matters worse, there is a strong possibility that the threats may actually be originating from within the Secret Service itself, so the agency cannot take the risk of conducting an internal investigation. Hence the call to Reacher, who wastes no time in hooking up with his old friend Francis Neagley to help him investigate the attempt on Armstrong's life and to prevent the assailant from succeeding. The Amazon adaptation of Killing Floor, the first Jack Reacher novel, introduced Neagley into the storyline, and since then she has gone on to become a regular character in the following 2 seasons of the series. However, this actually marks her debut appearance in the books, and it's certainly a memorable one. It is noteworthy that she suffers from haphophobia, an aversion to human touch, which conveniently allows her relationship with Reacher to remain strictly platonic. However, to further complicate the situation, it turns out that not only was Froelich a former colleague of Reacher's brother, Joe, but also had a prior romantic relationship with him before his death. And upon encountering Reacher, who closely resembles her former lover, Froelich begins to experience a significant amount of emotional conflict. Reacher and Neagley identify gaps in the Vice President's security and soon determine that ensuring complete protection is just not going to be possible. In fact, Reacher goes as far to say that if he had been an assassin, he could have taken out Armstrong on several different occasions. This all comes down to Reacher's powers of observation and his talent in considering everything, from a sniper's likely position during Armstrong's Thanksgiving visit at a shelter, to working out that the threatening letters have been written by more than one person, due to slight differences in pronunciation in the sentences. Throughout it all, Lee Child skillfully maintains tension, even when the only events are the arrival of a series of unsigned letters. He effectively conveys the challenge of protecting public figures from danger on a daily basis, emphasising the dedication and bravery of the agents who undertake this formidable task, often with tragic consequences. And it is after one of these tragic consequences where a line has been crossed, and now Reacher is more determined than ever to see this through. Now, it's no longer a job, it's personal. That's for damn sure. Without Fail is an excellent Jack Reacher novel, undoubtedly one of my favourites so far. The practices and protocols of personal protection are very detailed and informative, really making you feel like you are part of this world. The plot involving the Vice President's security stress test is meticulously crafted, and the stakeout scene is so memorable and vividly depicted that it feels as if I first experienced this in a film. Throughout all this, the presence of Reacher's brother Joe is a reoccurring theme, and of course you have Reacher and Neagley doing what they do best, kicking some serious ass and messing up someone's plans. Great pacing, excellent characters, unique plot and thrilling action. Very high recommendation on this book. Would this book work as an adaptation for the Amazon series? I don't know how many seasons of Reacher that Amazon are planning on doing, but this book is one that's begging to be adapted into a film or TV series. It is a razor-sharp update of The Day of the Jackal and In the Line of Fire. However, considering that we've recently had another Day of the Jackal adaptation from Sky Television, Amazon might want to hold off on this one for the moment to avoid comparisons. The narrative also seamlessly continues the storyline involving Reacher's brother Joe, encompassing their shared history and the reminder of Joe's passing, which was initially introduced in Reacher Season 1. However, should an adaptation of this book be made into the series, I'd like to see a couple of changes being made. Now, first of all, I don't recall Reacher ever wearing or checking a watch. He relies on his internal clock, and he is always accurate to within a minute or two. Therefore, him wearing and checking a watch during this story doesn't seem to fit his character. The second change I'd want to see made, and a bit of a spoiler here, but Reacher ends up sleeping with his dead brother's ex-girlfriend. And okay, I get it. Reacher normally gets the girl in the majority of these stories. But in this case, I do feel that this was considerably out of character for Reacher. It felt disrespectful to his brother, and it was almost like he was taking advantage of Froelich's emotional state of renewed grief. Finally, Reacher uses a ceramic knife during the book's final bloody confrontation during a blizzard, and it's not entirely clear where he got it from. It's possible that he might have acquired this in the 4th or 5th books, and I've simply missed that detail by not reading either of those books. But given that the 11th book, Bad Luck and Trouble, has already been adapted, where Reacher reunites with his former army colleagues, including David O'Donnell, a family man known for his fast-talking and switchblade skills, who also possesses a ceramic knife, it may be worth considering an explanation here that O'Donnell gave Reacher his ceramic knife because he felt that Reacher would need it more than he did. Alternatively, O'Donnell could have passed the knife on to Neagley to give to Reacher. This explanation would justify why Reacher all of a sudden has this ceramic knife, and it would be adding continuity to a previous season. It's just a suggestion. Other than those 3 points, yes, absolutely, this book is more than worthy of a television adaptation, and I hope that it eventually happens. But until then, if you have enjoyed today's video, then please hit that like button and let me know your thoughts or experiences with the Reacher series, either the books or the show. And let me know what you'd like to see reviewed next in the comments section below. You can even find more reviews just like this one in the playlists on my channel. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends and on social media. Your shares help to grow the channel and to attract more viewers. And if you want to stay connected, you can follow me on my own social media pages at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter for behind the scenes content and regular updates. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and clicking on that notification bell. That way you won't miss the next video when it's up for you to watch. Finally, thank you for stopping by the Big Daddy D Reviews channel, and we'll catch you again next time. Until then, bye for now.